Live on a freaking boat.
Okay, and we have golf to watch.
That's right.
All right, we are live, guys.
All righty.
Cool.
NBNR live on a boat.
Yes,
Who
we
would
are.
have thunk you would ever seen the day?
Yes, we are actually on a pontoon at the Pinnacle Bank Championship.
Hey, guys, look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
We started in a basement. We ended up on a boat.
From a basement to a boat.
It is pretty freaking sweet.
0 to 100.
It is awesome.
There is no risk of drowning in Mike's basement.
Right.
No.
But here, I don't know, the front of the boat's, we got a guy up there. He's holding up his end.
Yeah.
Of the deal up there.
Is it a bad time to tell you guys I don't know how to swim?
See, I'm not a huge swimmer myself. I am a pale ass mug, so I'm glad I got a canopy. I know you guys got me some sunscreen. I appreciate you.
Yeah, looking out.
for me.
We're team players.
Yes.
I love it.
We should have got you with the sunscreen beforehand so you look like you had white all over your face.
All on my nose. I know.
Just get you some of that nose block.
Are we doing the intro, or are we just acting like we did the intro?
I think it's going in post.
Yeah, it'll go in post. So just
Okay.
GBR.
Go Big Red, indeed. No block, no rock. On a boat. Season 3, episode 54, the Ola Daganduro episode. We have 19 days until kickoff.
Man, you can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
What's it smell like? What does it smell like?
That might just
Well,
be Jared.
That's just Jared.
Someone commented, Leighton says, just some boys on a boat. Love it. Yes,
some
we
boys
do.
on a
We
boat.
love
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
I can see some golf. I'm not a huge golf guy. It's as you all know this.
Yes.
We are at the Corn Ferry tournament.
Yeah, the
right?
Pinnacle Bank
Pinnacle Bank
Championship
Championship.
at
Yeah.
Indian Creek.
At Indian Creek here in Elkhorn, Nebraska.
Okay, now you guys have been here. I just got here like literally 20 minutes ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
You literally rolled in just now.
I went to the Herd at Sports Pavilion and I snatched me some sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was supposed to do that, but I did it anyway.
Hey, take
but-
what's given.
Yeah. So just some observations from you guys. What have you seen? Anything cool, noteworthy to tell the people?
Well, number one, I was here at about 7 o'clock this morning just getting some good B-roll and getting some good footage for
Grinder.
the hype video, right?
Grinder.
That's right. But I did take a break. I was sitting at the Herd at Pavilion, and sure enough, they're continuing round 2, and a guy gets a hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one.
Of course.
Because of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to see a hole-in-one. That is pretty sweet.
Right. I've never seen one before, so
Yeah.
that was neat.
The only time
Yeah.
I've ever seen a hole-in-one, we were golfing at Papio Greens, which no longer exists.
Yep.
And we were drunk and we were like, all right, let's just start shooting at the foot golf holes. If you know what that is, it's like soccer golf.
Yeah.
And you kick soccer balls in these giant holes. We were just going to play that with the real golf balls. And my
Make it
buddy
easier,
Kramer, the most athletic freak I know, he's just good at everything. Freaking hits a golf ball.
Athletic freaks strong.
Seriously,
but
he's good at everything.
He's sneaky athletic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good at everything. We're aiming at the big soccer holes and hits it in the real hole. And we hit a hole-in-one.
You
And
can't
we
count
go
it.
Count
crazy.
that?
You
No,
can't count
you
it.
can't
Yeah, you
count
can.
that. No, you
Why
don't.
can't you count it?
That's
We
like
played it from the tee box.
yeah, but that's like me saying like I aimed for this hole and I hit it into the next fairway. I call that a fairway in
How many
regulation.
times during
You don't
golf
get
are you aiming at something and you don't hit it where you're aiming?
a lot?
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm ass. Like I'm
So is
terrible.
Kramer.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't get a count. Like if I
Yeah.
hit a hole-in-one on a wrong hole, you don't get a count.
No,
there.
it counted. And then afterwards, we went and got hammered at like 10 a.m. And the only place that was open was some Keno place in Papillion. And they wanted to get cigars. Well, they didn't have cigars, so they all bought cigarettes. And they were smoking. I don't
naturally.
smoke, but those guys were smoking cigarettes to celebrate his hole-in-one.
Naturally.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Yeah.
Picked up smoking just
But-
for the occasion.
Right. But on top of that, I mean, Mike and I were here yesterday pretty much all day, 2:30 to like 11 p.m.
8 hours.
Now, let me
Jeez.
tell you something. We talked about being like professional golfers. Okay.
Jokingly,
After,
right?
right.
Yeah.
After about 2 trips, like 2 holes, I'm not kidding you. The first hour we were here, I mean, we were beat. Like we were huffing and puffing up the hills.
Yeah.
But we spent the whole day like just walking around, getting footage of the guys. We talked to a caddy. That was cool.
Yeah, he was from Mexico, and his golfer wasn't going to make the cut. And so yesterday there was a huge rain delay.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to get the last hole in so that he didn't have to come back tomorrow because he knew he was going to make the cut. So that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
The caddy actually golfed golfed in college at Houston.
Yeah.
Houston.
There you go.
So
Yep.
yeah, so it
And
was cool.
We went and checked out the concert last night. It was incredible.
Yeah.
There were so many people there. And then we were blessed with media passes from Herdat.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Show it off.
Shout out.
And so I got to go like right in front of the stage, and I'm filming this dude like 10 feet. Like we were right there.
Kit Moore.
Yeah.
Yesterday
Kit Moore.
he was in spitting distance of Kit Moore with his camera. So we got some sweet footage that's coming at you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, like obviously I didn't get to come out here yesterday. So today was my first day here. Every part of this event is just gorgeous.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the people are nice, everything looks beautiful. The
Pictures are
good.
Here's good. Now, okay, so going back to like your hole-in-one argument.
Yeah.
So I also suck at pool. Okay. But anytime I can manage to get a freaking ball in the hole, I don't care if I called it. I don't care what it looks like.
But
I don't care how ugly it is. I made it in the damn hole. I'm counting it.
Thank you.
So here's my thing with the hole-in-one.
Just win, baby.
You're talking the 8-ball argument. You got to call 8-ball.
Yeah.
Well,
Like that's if you're aiming at this hole
You
and
ever
you
heard
make it over here, it doesn't count.
You ever heard of slop? I'd be calling that all day.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I am
absolutely.
You
I
can
am
slop
sloppy.
all you want.
Bruh.
Right.
It was sweet.
It's kind of like just my overall mantra of sports. Just win, baby. I don't care if it's sloppy. I don't care if it's pretty. In fact, I prefer it sloppy. So you know what? I'm going to slop it up.
Of course you do.
Slop it up.
Of course you do.
I'm a sloppy boy. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Do we need to talk any more about that?
No.
Oh.
Just
Okay,
leave that
so-
there, buddy.
Leave that there.
Huh.
Pool only,
Right.
right? So as someone that's not like a huge golf guy myself, right? So explain to the people out there, anyone, just what exactly is the Corn Ferry Tour? Like, what players can consist of this tour?
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's the level just before the PGA.
I've called it like the G League.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of these guys are competing for their chance to be in the PGA or get their tour card and then go compete.
The minor leagues, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and I think Connor, you said today that at Media Day when you were out here with Herdat, they had mentioned that 25 guys are going to get their card after
25
tomorrow.
guys from the Corn Ferry Tour are going to tour cards from this event. What I found really interesting is getting to hear all these guys that work for the course talking about how, these fairways are fairly forgiving. They're a little wide, not too difficult, but so to combat and make this course a little bit harder, they let this rough grow out super long. So we got to play on Media Day, and I was already like, oh my God, yeah, these roughs are really difficult.
Yeah.
Because I found the rough quite a bit. Yeah, I'm everybody that's listening in shock.
You're kidding me.
But I came back in and was talking with one of the groundskeepers, and he's like, oh, dude, this is like a third of what it's going to look like when these guys come out here. So they know their fairways are forgiving, and their exact words were, if it's a fairway, we're going to punish you for it.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, they've made it really interesting. I've seen a couple of golfers that I expected to be going into Sunday not make it because they've been trying to make this course very hard specifically.
Right.
Who are the okay? Go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I do remember last year we came out and we played like the weekend after the Pinnacle Bank Championship, just me and a couple friends. And I just could not believe how difficult it actually was. Like, I'm no scratch golfer by any means, but I'm generally okay from the rough. Like you can get out pretty easy. But that weekend, they were tearing down all the pavilions and stuff. And that weekend was it was torture, man. If you weren't on the fairway, you weren't going anywhere.
It'll humble you really quick if you go and play in the conditions that these guys are.
Yeah.
And they make things look so easy. Yesterday, when Kyle and I were watching them golf, there was a guy, and he had like probably 5 inches between the ball and the bunker. He has this weird, goofy stance, and he had like the hole had probably like a foot he had to work with. And he lands it 2 inches from the hole. It was incredible.
Yeah. In that Media Day tournament, I had the opportunity to golf with 2 guys that are here. I believe they made the cut. But they were talking about, we were playing a scramble just to keep things moving so we could get to the Q&A at the end.
So they didn't take your ball one time.
Actually, we used 3 of my balls.
Okay.
2 of them were putts. So that was it.
What ball did they use that wasn't a putt?
It was, we were stuck behind a tree. In fact, this is the story I was going to. We were stuck behind this tree, and we had to go way out and around and curve back to get on the green. And it was very nice of them. They're like, Connor, we're going to let you hit first on this. And we want you to just hit a little 9-iron, drop it right in the middle of that fairway, and then we're going to go take shots right at that pin. Obviously, their shots didn't work, which is why we took mine. But I didn't have anything really meaningful, but I got to contribute, and that made me feel really special. But these guys were talking about, we're right in front of this tree. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go up about 60 feet. I'm going to curve it back to the right and hopefully get like 6 feet of spin. And I was like, dude, I'm happy to hit the ball straight.
I'm happy to get it off the ground.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm stoked with that. And so watching these guys play it really drove home that like to put it in like basketball terms, they are closer to like LeBron than I am to them. Like it wasn't even close. These guys are amazing.
Yes.
So you look at even some of these guys that obviously the cut happened yesterday. Even the guys that didn't make that cut are just infinitely better than the average golfer. So it really struck my hopes down of ever becoming a pro.
Well,
Yeah.
you're the.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say you're like the Rafer Alston of golf?
Yeah.
You know who Rafer Alston is, don't you?
I'm just happy to be here.
Street ball baby, just
Yeah.
crossing people up.
I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Any more golf talk?
No, I
'Cause
think
look,
we can
you know,
put a bow on that. People don't listen to us to talk about golf. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't listen to us at all.
Right.
So,
one more quick shout out to Herd at Sports and the Pinnacle Bank Championship for having us out here.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
man.
incredible.
And okay, hold on. The boat company? Valley Marine. That's
Valley
we're on a
Marine.
pontoon. This thing is
It's amazing.
way more luxurious than what I'm used to out on a lake.
The last time I was on a boat with Jared was at my bachelor party. We almost sunk the pontoon in Okoboji.
Yeah.
And then Jared had
Oh,
this
we're
shit.
doing that? Oh, we're doing that.
he
I
literally,
thought we were done with sloppy boy talk.
oh, sorry. And he had to sit in the water.
I had to go.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We
Yeah,
got to be a little
Volume
quiet.
down.
right
We
now.
are at a
Yeah.
golf tournament.
Guys,
Okay.
seriously.
No, like, this is great because this is a podcast where we're supposed to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're
No,
just
we
going to
can't.
talk.
You
We're
can
not gonna
talk at
yell.
a reasonable volume. You
Yeah.
just don't need to yell.
Yeah, we can't yell about you
I don't want to be that guy.
you
Yeah.
pooping in Okoboji. Okay, let's get into Husker football talk, should we?
Yeah. A lot of news.
Husker
A lot of
football talk.
news.
You know, Husker football, right? There's been almost no drama. No drama.
Right.
So much so that we figured something. Where's the other shoe?
The
Must
shoe
go wrong.
had the drop.
Where is it?
Yeah.
You know, we're looking up in the sky, no shoes. And then today, just out of nowhere, a huge steel toe boot, I guess.
Yeah.
Drops on our head.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't end up being a steel toe boot kind of impact, but
Right.
Xavier Betts decides to officially leave the program again
For
a
the second time,
for
yeah.
the second time. Hence the again part,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because look, he comes in under Rule, a new lease on life, right? New staff.
He was renewed, I think is what Connor said.
When
Yeah.
they interviewed him, even that Nebraska media people took time to interview him and talk about his journey back to Nebraska, and now he's gone.
And not just that, like,
Well,
he takes all these classes to get back on track
Oh,
to
a
make
ton.
up his credits,
A
and it's
ton.
like, okay, he wants to be here. He wants to play under Rule and company.
Yeah.
Connor, go.
So we talked about this a little bit before we got on air where, I thought, Xavier Betts after his year-ish off realized he missed football and he came back, and Matt Rule, I don't want to call him a salesman because that's not what he's doing. Matt Rule genuinely means what he's saying, but I think Xavier Betts just realized that he doesn't love football. I think the exact quote was his heart wasn't in it.
Heart's
Yep.
not in it.
That's what
and
Rule said.
So I'll give him credit for at least trying to come back and give it a go. But if this is what's best for him, I get it. Like, again, I'm always pro player. So it sucks to see Xavier Betts leave. I think we'd all agree on that. And like you said, I hope this isn't the steel toe impact.
Hopefully it's a flip-flop.
But, if
You know?
this is what's best for him, I'd rather have a guy that doesn't want to be here, just go do his own thing, than, have him taking up a roster spot and taking up resources that we could be trying to develop other players with.
Yeah, and this receiver room, you got to remember, we still have a lot of experience, and it's not Nebraska experience by any means, but you got Billy Kemp, you got Isaiah Castaneda, you have
I mean, Marcus
Washington, you have Joshua Fleeks, who played a lot of college football as
who
well.
is not overweight. by
Not
the way.
overweight.
He's back in practice.
Yes. So he's back. You have depth at that position, but there's a huge question mark already. Like before Xavier left, and now it's even bigger. It's like, okay, a lot of unproven guys. Now you can look at it and be like, okay, I'm just going to double Billy Kemp. Now, who are you going to throw it to?
Well,
Yeah.
and Mike, you mentioned that this could potentially open up a few more looks for Malachi Coleman.
Yeah, maybe. You got some freshmen. We have some highly touted guys that came in here in this recruiting class under Rule, and it's going to open the door for them, but they they have to. It's pretty much sink or swim. If they want to get on the field, this is the time, and they could do it early.
And I know offensive line. We talk about this: offensive linemen, defensive linemen, tossing them into the fire basically when they're too young. I mean, there is an element of that to the wide receivers as well. Let them progress, let them develop, let them get into the program some more for a couple of years, and I don't think we're going to have that luxury this year. Like, I think definitely Malachi Coleman is going to be.
What would you say your mental focus?
Yeah.
Yeah, he glitched out for a second.
It's focused.
Hey, words are hard.
I've got Mike over here snapping for beers.
Well, that was me.
Snap.
I was shaking for beer.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Not even my moneymakers. I was just shaking my beer.
It's so weird not having Connor getting us beer every day.
Yeah, I know.
Time.
And he's usually wearing that skimpy dress on Mondays. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Twirling it around, trying to earn his tip. But going back to Xavier, right? The heart's not in it. And that was the thing the first time around too. Just doesn't love the game.
Right.
And so it kind of goes back to the point that you can't play football, especially at high level, if you don't want to play. Like you have to want to get hit. You have to want to learn the playbook. You have to want to live in a dorm for a couple weeks with a buddy and your feet hanging off the bed.
This is
like
exactly.
you gotta be in this. If you don't love it, it's best for you to just leave. And it's probably best for the team overall.
This is exactly what I was saying just before the episode.
It's just on the field, of course, you want to see that 4.4, 4.3 speed on an end around, scoring against Northwestern for an 80-yard run.
I love that part.
Of course.
Against Penn State, him pulling away from a dude during the COVID year. It's like, holy shnikes, this guy. But you think about the locker room and you think about the culture that Matt Rule is trying to create in his first year. Just think of guys looking at Xavier going, why is he still on the team? Like, Rule's keeping him around, even though he's not all in. And this is the culture that you're trying to create in year one. Like, it's just not a great look. So I hate to say it, but hopefully it's for the best for the team.
Yeah.
And
this
again,
roller coaster
again, hopefully it's best for Xavier Betts.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing negative to say about the guy. Yeah, if you don't want to be here, that's okay. But we don't want you here if you don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's just we were teased. We were teased when he came back. I mean, all the talk this spring and this fall camp. Oh my God, he looks good.
He did look good,
his
man.
His body has changed, just like everybody else's body has changed.
And what I find really interesting is it was, a little north of 2 weeks ago that the articles came out about Xavier saying that he still felt like he was trying to earn his teammates and coaching staff's trust back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering if he had these thoughts then, or if there was something that kind of triggered the fact that, I just don't want to do this.
Do the dorms suck that bad?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you only have a few more days. Come on.
Yeah, you're almost there.
He was put through the gauntlet, and obviously he realized again, oh, this is why I didn't want to do this the first time.
He's like, oh yeah, this shit does suck.
Yeah. I remember, I didn't like waking up early and running and getting hit. And I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not going to put words in this, but it's, if he doesn't love it, he's a guy that likes cartoons and magazines and comic books.
He's an anime
guy. He's a big,
good for him.
Big anime guy. And so, he's got other interest again.
Well, yeah, but again, I would say there's a lot of athletes that have share those similar interests.
Yeah.
I just think there's one interest that
football is also one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Xavier Betts, the one interest he doesn't share with a lot of those guys is football.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not something he really loves that much.
And this is all kind of pretty timely too, where you had that viral video go around where it was like a behind the scenes Hard Knocks look at Nebraska football. And one of the most viral clips was Matt Rule talking about, are you a 10%er? Or are you just like the rest of everyone else? Are you the 90%?
But he made some of those lists too. Like he made some of those lists that Rule would put out every week of guys that were going above and beyond for the program and being that 10%er. He made that list. So it's just weird to me that the timing sucks.
Well, and here's the thing too, like, I'm sure Xavier was in practice working his ass off.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he deserved to be on those lists.
Oh yeah.
You can put on a brave face. You can work hard as a mug, but inside you're like, God, I hate it. I just want to go home and watch Naruto or
right.
I want to play my I'm trying to think of other anime stuff. I want to watch Samurai Champloo. Leighton Schiacone? We'll go with Schiacone. Would you rather see Malachi Coleman, or does playing this early on with limited development,
or Jaden Doss,
or does playing those guys with limited development, gosh dang, I got to reread that.
Just read it again.
Would you rather see Malachi Coleman or Jaden Doss playing this early with limited development, or splitting out with Janiron Bonner, Emmett Johnson, Alex Bullock as wide receiver depth pieces?
As of this moment, my gut says depth piece. As of this moment.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, you think of Janiron Bonner, it's like, I feel like he's going to be the fullback,
Tight end,
versatile guy where you don't know exactly where he's going to be on the field at any given time.
And when has that ever been actually successful? In the last 10 years.
Remember that wide back thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He played so wide, he didn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you also named Emmett Johnson. He's just not a
Well,
guy that you've
Rule
heard
brought him up
about.
by name in the press conference
Okay,
today. He
okay,
said
my
Emmett
bad.
Johnson he's had a great camp. He's a guy that we might throw out there, and he's a running back. So
Yeah.
to me, I don't know. I would like to see, even if it's 15 plays, 10 plays, you get those freshmen out there. Learn these 10 plays. We are going to use these 10 plays against Minnesota. That's what you do, and you get like a Malachi Coleman out there. Go run straight.
Yeah.
Beat the guy in front of you. It can't be that hard.
Right.
I hate
if you slim it down like that.
I hate to be this guy, but it's like,
Do you want Ty Hahn out there?
no, play the bros.
Yeah. Lunch pail. You want one of those guys out there, or do you want guys that have stars next to their name?
Here's all I'll say. Okay, Matt Rule year one. Matt Rule year one. What are we pointing at? I can't see it.
I'm just saying volume.
Oh,
We got guys
okay.
teeing off here.
Okay, Matt Rule year one.
You don't have to whisper. You can talk.
I think we're fine.
We look at his previous stops, right? Not great with the 2-win seasons, and people think it's crazy to think that Nebraska could ever have a season like that under a year one of Matt Rule. And you look at some of the injuries that are happening on the O-line, and you look at some of your weapons that you were hoping to rely on leaving. Gosh, is it that far-fetched, guys?
Is it an omen?
Is it that far-fetched? Come on.
So
Am I still crazy for thinking that it's still a possibility that this team wins 2 or 3 games?
I think you're crazy.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think.
fine. That's fine.
I think after the whole Scott
Beep.
after the whole Scott Beep experiment and the tenure there, we talked about any sane head coach, anybody worth their stones, a competent coach would be able to go out there and win you some of those close games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, okay,
It's not a talent issue.
it's not a talent.
It's not.
And you talk about, depth issues and injury issues. It's not like we didn't experience those same things during the last tenure. And we still had, there was a season we went 3-9 where like we could have gone like 8-4, 9-3.
Yeah. Sure.
Because there were 1-score games. We were facing those same issues then. Again, the talent's not the issue. I hate to be simplistic.
Sure.
But a lot of that came down to the coaching staff. So yes, I think you're absolutely insane to say that 2 wins is something that you're worried about.
Something came to mind.
I said 3.
He said 3.
Okay, I still think you're crazy.
Something came to mind right now. Do you think the first kickoff of the Rule era is an onside kick?
I doubt it.
I fucking hope not.
I doubt it.
I'm here for it.
No,
bro.
we're gonna wait till we're up 2 scores, then we'll.
Embrace the chaos, man.
Embrace it.
Come on. Just thinking more about this wide receiver room, Marcus Washington was a guy that,
That's my dude.
listen, we're not here claiming that he's like last year that he was a dude that had 50 catches, he put up numbers, he's a game breaker, nothing like that. However, he was just a guy that seemed like he was always there when necessary, when he was needed. And start of fall camp, he's having these unfortunate injuries with like his hand. He's falling weird on the practice field. He's missing time. And then you got Xavier leaving. The only guy is Billy Kemp.
He's a dude.
Who's he's not a Trey Palmer. He's not going to burn you for 80 yards. However, hopefully he will give you 80 catches over the course of a season. But if he is your only weapon, hey, just cover him.
Right.
Maybe Malachi's split out wide, but he's a freshman. I think that's unfair. That's unfair expectations to put on somebody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a little concerning for me. The wide receiver room with Xavier Betts was a question mark.
Mhm.
And now without it,
Yeah.
hello.
Well, we talked about it. Like one of the big things that the Big Ten bus tour, when they came through Lincoln, they were
Mhm.
like, I don't know about this wide receiver core. Like that was one thing that they pointed out, and they're like, they're definitely not up to speed with some of the other Big Ten teams.
Just expecting him to learn the playbook and just be ready in Minneapolis versus a Minnesota team under Fleck.
Who's been there 7 years.
You know
Yeah.
what you're getting.
Discipline and they're not going to make mistakes. They're going to make you make mistakes, and you got to rely on freshmen to do that. But like I said, 4 of the receivers that I think will see a lot of playing time have a lot of college football experience. They played a lot of years. Like they're all like fifth-year seniors, fifth and sixth-year seniors.
Yeah, well, and I'm talking about all these questions that I have, and I also have to remember that this is a year 1 of Matt Rule.
It is year 1.
He likes to play the younger guys that he has invested in and have invested themselves in the program. So year 1, play the young guys, see what they got.
Right. Wandale played as a freshman. He was pretty good.
Yeah. One thing, obviously, you cannot ignore that big question mark over that wide receiving core. But one thing I think Matt Rule is really good about is adjusting. So if we get to a point where it's like, hey, the passing game just really is atrocious. Like we're going to see them, Kyle, you mentioned earlier, like going to this power run offense and kind of subsidizing and trying to reduce that risk as much as we can. So while it's not optimal to have a receiving room looking like this right now, I don't think it's, the sky's not falling on me quite yet.
Right.
Yeah. No football's been played yet, guys. The sky is not falling yet. Let's see if the discipline route and the culture route that Matt Rule is trying to take with this team pays off on Saturdays.
Just pray to God we don't get boat raced by Minnesota, pun intended.
Last time I went to Minnesota, we got boat raced, and I will tell you, you guys get to experience it this year.
You know what? It's one thing to get boat raced on a pontoon, but that was a freaking speedboat.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, the Hoodie Gate.
Oh, it was so bad.
I love it.
It was terrible, and that Minnesota chant is terrible. M-I-N.
They just spell the name of the state.
Yes, but it's the longest freaking spelling of all time.
Yeah.
Just in case you forgot where you were,
yes.
they'll tell you where you're at.
One thing that was interesting, I was looking at PJ Fleck's coaching record at Minnesota a couple days ago, and you'll notice like every third year he has kind of this drop off, and the record goes to suboptimal, like 5-7, 6-6, and we are on that third year right now. Like this is, if the numbers ring true, this could be the year where PJ Fleck's record kind of drops down a little bit. Again, we talked about they're returning a lot of really good players.
I did see a lot of the media were predicting them to go under 7 wins.
Yeah,
they did the poll.
A little celebration.
Something golf happened.
And he shaked his hat at it.
I think a ball went in the hole.
No, that's called a
I think
30.
that was just a really good putt.
So that it's $3 beers. If somebody makes a birdie on that hole,
right,
they give out $3 beers in that beer garden. Normally they're 7
for 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that is a smart.
All right, let's wrap this episode up.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We got free beers over there.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, sir, what is your name? Jason. May I please get a Coors Light from you? I'm not going to snap at you like Mike did.
I didn't snap.
You snapped.
I got
the
his
one
attention.
I'm making up for my snap.
We are mid-conversation.
You know what? I'll even take a White Claw if it's easier for you. I really don't care.
No.
All right, so back on track.
We're back on the boat track here. I think another guy that we should talk about is Isaac Gifford.
Yep.
He's a guy that Matt Rule was giddy talking about. This dude is excited. Here come the White Claws.
Ain't no laws.
Oh, sorry.
On this boat.
We gotta be quiet here. You got Matt Rule talking about Isaac Gifford, and like he's going over his measurables, how great 40 time, great broad jump, he could jump high, potential NFL player. Like, of course, we got to kind of relax for now.
Right.
Pump the brakes.
But Isaac Gifford, last year, again, not like a volume tackles guy.
No.
But he just always seemed to be around the ball. He was a note, especially that Iowa game. You see Isaac Gifford, number 23. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's around the ball.
Yeah.
And you hear Matt Rule just talking like he's a freaking golden child. And of course, he's one of the single number guys.
Yep.
Along with Billy Kemp, along with
Jeff Sims.
Jeff Sims, of course.
Can we give a quick shout out when we're talking single digit guys to Ethan Piper?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
was
another-
voted to
Mhm.
get a single digit, but is not allowed to wear that.
Yeah,
So,
the O lineman. I would love to see an O lineman rock a single digit. I think
Yeah.
that would be so badass.
Yeah, but I want to make sure he gets his shout out because he clearly deserved it. His
Well-
teammates voted him there. So
I wonder if they'll do will they do like a helmet sticker kind of thing?
I'm sure they'll do something. Maybe it'll be like a 10%er thing or
10%.
something.
Just
Who
like
knows?
A percent sign.
Yeah, maybe it's a percent. Like they'll do something, I'm sure, to honor those guys that can't wear, or like the guys. I thought about this too. What about guys that really love their number and they don't want a single digit?
Yeah.
but they got voted by their team.
I'm sure.
Because-
I'm sure it's
Hey,
not set in stone. I'm
Numbers
sure
are
it's like-
superstitious. Like,
Hey.
people love those numbers.
Well,
like,
not just that, but like if they're growing up or like they're trying to pay tribute to somebody.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something
yeah,
like
there's
that.
a lot of that.
it's like, oh nope, you got to be 0 through 9. Got to take one.
Oh,
Or you
is
can,
that?
or you can leave.
Am I hearing Houston Alexander over there?
Yes.
Oh, that is
yes. Houston Alexander is rocking the DJ here at the Pinnacle Bank Championship.
Mike
Former-
said he's going to challenge him to a fight.
Yeah.
He is,
Uh,
I believe, currently undefeated in bare knuckle boxing. If I'm correct on that,
I
believe
have
he's
no
undefeated.
idea.
I could take him.
You know what, guys?
He's a scary man, but he's very nice. He's
I'll-
such a nice guy.
I'll be honest with you. That name, Houston Alexander, I have not heard that in a few years.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to hear it a lot
Where's-
today.
Yeah.
Where's he been? What's going on with Houston Alexander?
He's doing bare knuckle boxing now.
Yeah.
He likes punching
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he has this thing against spreadheads. I don't know. So if you,
Yeah.
if you get near him.
Well, hey,
Guess what? I don't blame him either.
hey, the Kyles on the boat have something in common with Houston Alexander. We all love to punch things.
Oh, yeah.
Drink monster. Yeah.
Monster and break and drywall. We
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys know.
That's awesome.
That's way too many Kyles on one boat.
Yeah.
But there is no drywall in here, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, I brought some with me. It's in the bag.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think those were kind of the main points that we wanted to hit with Xavier Betts and like the single digit number guys. I feel like those four are gonna be those are the initial guys. You send
Yeah.
out pictures and
Yeah.
Quentin Newsom's
I
going to
know-
get number 6 back. I'm just telling you that now. Like
Yeah,
he's,
so
he's
let-
going to be.
let's also talk about maybe some other dudes that we talked about Piper, but other guys that you expect to get single digit numbers.
Mm.
MJ Sherman.
Okay.
Yep.
Quentin
I mean-
Newsom.
How many episodes in a row have we talked about MJ Sherman being a dog?
I could see even like Malcolm Hartzog getting one.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, maybe no. Let me take that back. Tommy Hill.
Yeah.
He's been the guy that the comeback story. If you need to find a comeback story now that Xavier Betts is gone, Tommy Hill, the guy who literally had to change positions last year.
And then he got benched.
He
He
got
didn't do
benched.
anything.
Yes, and the guy has apparently had this awesome comeback story where he is running with the ones. Like he's probably going to be the other starting corner. So that guy could probably earn his. I mean, he had like 6 numbers since he's been at Nebraska. So maybe number 0. I don't know whatever number he wants.
You think back to the game that got Scott Bleep fired, Georgia Southern. I mean, who
Got
was the guy?
hooked.
Who was the dude that was in the end zone getting burned
Yeah.
for touchdown after touchdown? It
I
seemed
remember
like
that guy.
was Tommy Hill, and
Yeah.
he's on the front cover of the World Herald, like with his head in his hands because he gave up another tutty. And you could argue that he should have been like the Xavier Betts of this team. Like he should have just new change of scenery.
He can. Yeah. He
But
can.
he couldn't transfer again though. That was the thing. He was the Arizona State transfer.
Yeah.
Came here at the one-time transfer.
Forgive me for thinking that there were still,
Oh yeah, there's still rules
There's
on
still
transfers.
rules,
yeah.
and of course we
Casey
get,
Thompson's on his 3rd college now. So
It's the law.
and you think of Arik or Eric. Still
Eric
don't know.
Gilbert.
yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Where's that
I think
waiver?
it's Eric.
About that, there's been tweets like going crazy this whole week of guys getting denied their waivers.
I think
So
he's next.
I hope he's not next.
but they were all hardship waivers. I don't know what kind of transfer he
Hey,
did or
We're gonna have some strings and we're gonna pull them.
yeah.
Quote me, Eric Gilbert gonna play football at Nebraska this year.
Well, I'm hoping that they can pull kind of a. This is best for his like mental
Mental
kind of
health thing. Yeah, you pull mental health, you can get waivers.
Speaking of talking about Eric, going to the tight end room. Fedoni running in practice now.
Mhm.
Gosh, that
He's-
knee brace, he
hey.
looks like a robot.
Hey, he's running in practice now.
Yeah,
He's running.
Like
Good job.
that's
No, that's
you know,
fair.
a step better than where we've been.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Mackie, baby.
And you know what?
Mackie.
That kind of makes me think of like, since you don't have Xavier anymore, you're going to see a lot more Fedoni on the field.
I don't know.
You would,
No,
what
Matt
do you
Rule
think?
was asked that today. So
What?
Matt, during the press conference.
I did not watch the press
Yes,
conference.
I know you did not.
Because I was driving from the sticks out to here.
Yeah.
I must have missed it. Go on.
Yeah, so Matt Rule, they asked him, they're like, hey, would you consider moving, Thomas Fedoni out to play a little wide receiver? And he said, no, Thomas Fedoni's a tight end.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what I was not thinking that you would split them out wide. Just have more tight ends on the field.
Yeah.
So
like in a 22.
I think we're going to be running 2 tight ends most of the time anyways.
This is
Run the ball.
It's a power run team.
This is
Catch the Trey Palmer touchdown last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Trey
yeah,
Palmer.
yeah.
Trey Palmer and Adrian Martinez scored the game-winning touchdown
Garrett
for
Nelson
the
got a
Lions.
sack.
And
Yeah.
Garrett Nelson,
And-
Peter panned after he got a
Hell
sack.
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Torrey got a nice one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Huskers in the NFL, they shined last night in the preseason.
Yeah.
I also heard a vague Austin Allen reference.
Oh,
So I
Where's
don't know
he at
what
now?
he
Is he
did.
with the Packers?
I think with the Pack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got to cover up. It's getting a
Yeah.
little windy on the boat here.
No, that's okay.
Um,
That's the ambiance,
but-
guys. You just
ambiance.
embrace it. Just
Going-
embrace it.
Going back to Fedoni, I think coming in, like when we landed Fedoni, I was like, this is going to be a tight end that revolutionizes what we do with tight ends in Nebraska. Obviously, 2 years of injuries. But looking at him run in that clip that the Huskers put out,
Gazelle?
yeah,
What's he
not
look
quite.
like?
He looks slow.
He looks slow. And so,
I'm just being
but
honest.
yeah,
Spring game did
the-
not look great.
the man
Just
is
being
coming off of,
honest.
he's coming
He
off of
looks
2
clunky.
severe injuries. So obviously we take that into account. But I think when you look at tight end play this year, especially for Fedoni, you're going to see him probably more in a blocking role.
it's gonna be a focus on blocking.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I think they're gonna have
Ooh.
plays for him. He's a pass catcher. I think Nate Borkature is gonna be more of your blocking tight
Bruh.
end.
I
He-
Fedoni is a
he
pass
looks like a
catcher,
tight
but
end.
like if he can't move and he's not moving well, like
Bruh.
let's use that size and get some blocks down.
Bruh, you get Thomas Fedoni. Blocking tight end was not
No.
the thing that we were sold on. Now that could be the case now because
Yeah, again, I'm looking at
life-
today as opposed to when he came here.
life happens and knees disintegrate.
Yeah.
And
And he's got the
Repeatedly.
robo knee. You saw that brace. That
You know
brace
what?
is huge.
have you guys ever seen the movie The Wizard of Oz?
Now, is
Tin Man.
that a new one?
That's what he looks like. Clunky.
Just saying.
clunky.
I hate
but-
to say it.
No, I hope that he makes us
Spring game-
eat our words because I do
Yeah.
think he's gonna have a big role in this offense.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. I know we're like trying to wrap up. in a
Yeah,
little bit, but
we got 6 minutes, so
4
okay.
minutes.
4 minutes.
I'm thinking about Matt Rule and the kind of identity that he wants to establish. And you hear a lot about tight ends. You hear a lot about the run game. And with Xavier Betts leaving, it does give me a little more comfort in knowing that I feel like Matt Rule wants to establish a kind of offense that is run heavy, primarily run. And
It's the Big
even
Ten.
if, and he even talked in media days about if it gets 3 yards, 4 yards, don't give up.
No, keep doing it.
And I keep going back to this every time I make a freaking countdown video. I watch these 80s, 90s games. You guys, a lot of these runs were very boring runs.
Yeah.
Now, the highlights that you see that I post are 80-yard runs.
Right.
But what leads up to those? The 3, the 4, the 6, the 2. No losses, no loss of yards.
Right.
But establishing an identity of this is what we do. We're not going to kowtow to what's not working, right?
Yeah.
So, and of course, during the game, if they don't adjust, we're going to get mad and say, pass the effing ball. Come on.
Yeah.
But I think even if it doesn't work the first time around, Rule's going to stick with it. And this is what he wants to do at Nebraska.
So I think I've made this comparison before. Going to this, 3, maybe 4 yards a run offense, if that is what we're going to end up doing, it's building mosaic, right? Your 3-yard runs are just these tiny little pieces to build this massive picture.
Mm.
So while the tiny play, your 3-yard run, isn't the sexiest thing to watch, the end product is really what we want to see.
It's
Beat 'em
so
down. Beat 'em down.
Iowa-esque. It really is.
No, that's
when the-
punting.
Hey, remember that time we beat Iowa?
Or I think another traditional Iowa move is betting on your own team, betting the unders. Oh, that must have been another. Really
Oh
good
my
putt or
God, the
chip.
fist pump! You
Oh,
could have had.
he chipped that in. I think he's got an iron in his hand.
Did a ball go in the
I
hole?
think he's got a
Yes,
wedge.
The ball went in the
Did
hole.
a golf thing happen?
Yes, a golf thing
golf-
happened.
did a
and
golf
it's probably honestly, it's probably a good time to wrap this up because we
Okay.
we got to get
We're
off
pretty
the boat.
close anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So with that being said, we've got a busy August.
yes.
Next weekend is the award show.
Yep. Nebraska Podcast Award Show.
Please, for the love of God, we've put so much work into this. Please just get your tickets. They're free. Show up.
If you
hang out.
you're going to show up, then show up.
When you
Right?
If you're coming, when you see Kyle has put so much work into this event on his own, but when you see what we're putting out there for you guys, you are going to lose your minds.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be awesome. And then also Minnesota. We're going to be talking with the Herd At folks and getting that all squared away. But we're doing a live show at Lions Pub in Minneapolis, and we're actually doing it with Go Big Redcast. They're going to be there as well. So if you enjoy them, we'll be out there with those guys. And we'll have some Herd At folks coming through, hanging out.
Avery, Marissa, I think they're both going to pop on for a little bit. We're going to be on for 3 hours, so we're going to need some people to fill some time.
We said it is August 31st, 1 to 4 p.m. Is that correct?
Noon to 3.
Noon to 3.
Yeah.
Noon to 3.
Don't trust me.
Yes. Don't ask Connor.
Well, now he knows.
Now he knows.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yes.
Okay. Follow us at NBNR Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
Facebook.
Man. Facebook, man. You know what? I gotta say this. We underestimated Facebook.
Dude, Facebook is
Facebook is hopping.
Dude, 1 million
Also,
people a month on Facebook we're reaching with this
not
podcast.
a million, 1.6 million.
Oh, sorry, 1.6 million people we reach with this podcast a month.
That's 6
in the off season of Nebraska football. So that is pretty incredible.
Hell yeah.
Another thing I want to throw out, if you go to our website, which is NBNRpodcast.com, we do have a merch shop. If you are local, Evans Custom Apparel is our merch provider. You no longer have to pay for shipping. If you're local, there is free local pickup.
Yes.
You can go get that.
I
I just bought another hat, 2 days ago. I'm going to go pick it up myself. They are right around the brewery, actually, right around 108th and Harrison. So if you like the merch, don't worry about the shipping. Go pick it up yourself. It's
Yes,
free.
We have a lot of local listeners that won't need to drive that far to pick up their fancy ass NBNR hat or polo.
We're all wearing new merch today.
Yes.
Look at us.
We look
fresh
good.
merch.
This is boat apparel. This is pod apparel that we are wearing. But you don't need to just wear it on a boat. Wear it to the Husker game.
Right.
Wear it at a tailgate.
Absolutely.
We have some sick quarter zips up there.
Looks good.
Our hats are amazing. Our hats are so rad.
Freaking A.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Very reasonably priced too.
Especially with the free shipping. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. All right, guys.
Free pickup, not free shipping. But.
Okay, guys, we have made it. We have not fallen into the boat. I did not need sunscreen. I appreciate these fellas on the boat with us.
Yeah, helping us make
getting us
everything
beers, driving safely. I know
Shout
we
out
got a little crazy over there driving fast, but okay, guys, let's sign off. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall,
Mike Delaware,
Kyle Byers,
and Connor Cavalack.
As always, 19 days. Beat Minnesota. Beat them in GBR.